What's up, Zombie Talk 123? I'm sorry, in the past, few weeks, I haven't had that many great things to report on. There's been some signings, a few little trades here and there. But there's been some weird things happening in different countries outside of the U.S., and this is just the worst news I've heard probably all year. Greg Halman, Seattle Mariner outfielder. He was, international signing at age 17 from the Netherlands, and he had a lot of promise to him. The Mariners definitely saw a lot of talent in him, saw a lot of tools in him. They developed him. He just, brought up last year, hit 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, only hit like 230 when he was brought up. But he would be fighting for an everyday spot next year and then the year after that. So, he's young. He has a lot of promise, and, he has a lot of tools. And again, a lot of promise for an outfielder for the Seattle Mariners. And right now, the Seattle Mariners need offense, they need outfielders, they need hallmark players for the organization. And the organization went out and got him as their international signing at age 17. Now, around the U.S., he's not that well known. I don't think, when I heard the nose, Greg, Hallman, I was like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? I don't know him, and it's not like a well known player around the U.S., but maybe if we would have seen another year of him, we probably would all know him. Maybe he hit 15, 20 home runs next year. Maybe he hit 5 to 10. Maybe we just know him as utility man. Maybe only people that really follow baseball intently would have known him as a depth guy for the Seattle Mariners. Whatever the case may be, no matter whether he's a basketball player, baseball player, football player, politician, banker, merchant, whatever job you have, there's such a small chance that someone's career is going to be into professional sports, and no matter who you are, no one likes to hear stories about people getting murdered. It's something that you see on the news, and you're like, why do the news have to show this? Why do they have to show the negative things? Why can't they show the positive things? And when you see something like this, it's just like, are you kidding me? I remember as a Cardinal fan after '06, honestly, I can't even remember his name. It's been a while, but there was. I'm really sorry because it's kind of offensive that I don't even remember his name. Not really offensive, but in '06, a pitcher for the Cardinals, relief pitcher, he was drunk driving over 100 miles an hour, and he got in a crash and died. And it kind of flattened out the team. And I'm not sure what kind of effect this will have on the Seattle Mariners. Greg Halman in his home land, the Netherlands. This is weird because Wilson Ramos, he got kidnapped in Venezuela, and now we have this in the Netherlands. Something about outside the U.S. and with these things, I think Major League Baseball is going to have to address security outside of the U.S. when players are over there. And I'm totally fine with players and being in other countries because half the players, maybe not even half of the players in the MLB have been born in the U.S. I'm not even sure the percentage there. But if they have homes elsewhere, go to the Netherlands. Some countries are better than the U.S. in a lot of ways. Europe has free healthcare, not the best economy. But you can't judge a country on that. I think if there's a lot of fun things to do there, I think I'd rather live in a place where you can do more fun things or do things that you enjoy. And obviously that's where his home. He grew up there. He would like to live there, and he was there. And it was a tragic thing. They're questioning his brother. He was stabbed to death, and it's just such a weird thing to think. Of that happening. Think of who all this affects. This affects his family. This affects his fans. This affects everybody who's seen him play throughout the minor leagues. This affects the organization. This affects the players that he's played with. This affects, every player that he's played with from, starting out as a kid all the way through minor leagues. This affects everybody he's known, friends, family, everything. And the weird thing is his brother, at this point, is a main suspect. And I'm not sure what exactly that means at this point because they don't have really an idea who did it. So they brought in his brother. They questioned him. I would not be surprised if it was him, but at the same time, it's such a messed up thing that you get killed by your brother. Your brother murders you. To think of that, especially if they're close. It makes no sense, and none of this makes any sense. None of these stories should ever happen. I don't understand why there's so much violence in the world today. No matter what religion you are, no matter, that's the one thing is religion really does separate people. If you do this in a spiritual way and you're very peaceful about it, that's one thing. But when people get this whole mentality about if you're not this religion, you're this and we can kill you, it's ridiculous. And, There's so many wars fought over religion. Every war is fought over either religion or money most of the time, or land. And and the fact that there's so much violence going on that it's affecting everyone. And people make a big deal about it because he's a sports star, or because he's not different from you or me, but because he is more well known, it is a bigger deal. But a murder is a murder, a death is a death. It's terrible either way you look at it. And no one should ever bring that much pain on one person or one person's family ever. So this is a terrible thing for fans of the Seattle Mariners organization, anyone who's ever known him, his family. I mean, this guy could have been a great major leaguer, and we could have enjoyed watching him play. But the most important thing is, take baseball out of it. This is probably a great person, and this affects everyone he's known. It affects their lives for the rest of their life, and he now does not get to live. He was killed. So either way you look at it, it's terrible. You can't really look at it too much in the baseball aspect because, what would you rather choose? Not play baseball and live, or play baseball and die? I mean, maybe baseball is some people's lives, but at the end of the day, they have other things outside of that, and like, when they're in the off season, this should not happen. When they're in the season, this should not happen. It should never happen. But for it to happen is just very unfortunate. Again, and my thoughts go out to his family, everyone who's known him, friends, family, organization, everything. I mean, they signed this kid at 17, international signing, and who would have ever thought that he would, when you sign someone tells you, in this many years he's going to be killed. It's just such a weird thing. And more details will probably come. And there's not many details right now other than that they're questioning his brother. All right, I'm sorry to report this bad news, but someone's got to report it, I guess. Thanks for watching. Again, this is MLB Talk 1, 2, 3.